This is the Galaxy A52s. With this phone, Samsung has made a lot of improvements compared to previous phones in the A50 series. However, the price is also significantly higher this time around. So in this video, let's try to find out whether everything this phone offers makes it worth the asking price or not. So without any further ado, let's get started. In terms of design, there is nothing that immediately stands out, but it is also not bad looking from any angle. The side frame is actually plastic even though it has a metallic finish. The back is also plastic and it has a completely matte finish. In terms of size and weight, it's definitely not slim or light, but it's also not cheap or flimsy, as it feels quite sturdy in the hand. In terms of protection, the front display has Corning Gorilla Glass 5 protection. This phone is also IP67 rated for ingress protection against dust and water up to 3 feet for 30 minutes in fresh water. One thing that pretty much every Samsung phone has in common is a great display, and this phone is no exception. This is a 6.5-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display with 120Hz refresh rate and 240Hz touch sampling rate. It can get pretty bright with around 800 nits of brightness. It is Widevine L1 certified for HD playback and streaming apps. It is also HDR10 Plus certified, but HDR only works in YouTube, not Netflix. In terms of audio, this phone does an amazing job. First of all, it has stereo speakers. They sound quite good and can get pretty loud. Here is an audio sample. The sound is obviously not flagship grade, but it still sounds good enough. Coming to the best part, this phone has a 3.5mm audio jack. That is extremely rare nowadays, especially in its price bracket. Its sound output is also quite good. Finally, coming to the earpiece, again the sound quality is good and it gets loud enough to be heard in noisy environment. Coming to the cameras, it's not a major upgrade over last year, but the addition of a powerful processor and optical image stabilization for the primary camera makes it full of potential. And based on these image samples, this phone is living up to that potential. The primary camera can capture some really nice shots with ample details and pleasing colors. And because it's a relatively large sensor, there is good amount of natural bokeh in close-up shots. Speaking of close-up shots, even the macro camera does a good job, at least in good lighting. Coming to ultra-wide, even this camera is quite impressive in good lighting. It has good color parity with the main camera, but generally it's slightly more contrasty and saturated compared to the main camera. Other than that, the detail level, dynamic range and field of view are all quite impressive. Switching to night mode, the primary camera does a pretty good job, but the ultra-wide is not very impressive in comparison. Coming to the front camera, I'm quite happy with the quality of selfies in good lighting. The night mode for selfies, however, did not impress me much as it is noisy and not very detailed. Finally, let's talk about the video recording capabilities of this phone. This is a 4K 30fps sample from the primary camera. At launch, this phone didn't have stabilization in 4K, but now this phone has been updated to have EIS even in 4K. Similarly, you can also record 4K videos with the ultra-wide camera, and that too with EIS. Okay, now this is a video sample from the front camera of A52s. This is a 4K 30fps clip, but unfortunately it lacks any kind of stabilization. If you want stabilization, you have to drop down the resolution to 1080p 30fps. You can also switch between these three cameras while recording a video, even in 4K. That is really impressive. So from camera perspective, especially video, this is easily one of the best options in its price segment. The software experience is definitely one of the best parts of this phone. When you boot this phone for the first time, you will be greeted with a lot of bloatware, and Samsung will encourage you to install even more bloatware. Fortunately, all of it can be uninstalled, and once you are past that stage, the software experience gets really good. This is easily one of the most feature-packed user interfaces with unique features like the edge panels for quick access to certain apps and tools, secure folder protected by Knox security, Bixby routines to automate certain tasks, and lock screen widgets for added convenience. You can also install add-ons like GoodLock and game plugins to take this software experience to the next level. Samsung has committed to support this phone for quite a long time, so this phone will get 3 major Android updates, that's Android 12, 13 and 14, as well as 4 years of security updates. Also, Android 12 has started rolling out for this phone in some regions, and it is going to bring a lot of cool and useful features. Okay, performance is where this phone has received the biggest upgrade. This phone is powered by the Snapdragon 778G. This is a significant upgrade over the 720G and 750G of previous models. These are the benchmark scores, and the numbers are quite impressive. To test whether this phone has any abnormal heating or throttling issues, I ran the CPU throttling test and 3D Mark stress test as well. And this phone came out with flying colors as it was able to achieve over 95% stability in both these tests. Even in games, with the help of game plugins, I was able to extract maximum performance from these games. So the performance is quite good for a mid-range chip. However, the competition is offering flagship grade processors for the same price. So for a general user, this level of performance is great, but if gaming is a high priority, there are definitely better options available. Coming to battery, the A52s packs in a respectable 4500 mAh battery. Combine that with a very energy efficient Snapdragon 778G and you can expect great battery life from this phone. As you can see here, I got nearly 7 hours of screen on time. That is with a combination of 5 hours of video playback, 1 hour of gaming, and around 1 hour of social media and web browsing. In terms of charging, however, this phone is somewhat disappointing. Even though this phone supports up to 25 watts of fast charging, you only get a 15 watt charger in the box. And that thing takes a long time to charge this phone to 100%. In terms of biometric security, you get an under-display optical fingerprint scanner. It is not the fastest one I've tried, but it is also not bad. Same is the case with Face Unlock. Regarding the haptics, this phone doesn't use the newer, more precise linear motor for vibrations, so it's not very impressive. This phone has a hybrid SIM tray, so you can have 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM and 1 micro SD card, that too up to 1 TB. In the box, you only get the charger, cable and SIM ejector tool, so neither a screen protector nor a case is present. In terms of connectivity and sensors, nothing is missing here, including Wi-Fi 6 and NFC. Even in terms of networks, this phone checks all the boxes. 12 5G bands, check. Carrier aggregation, check. Voice over LTE and voice over Wi-Fi, again check. So nothing to complain about in this department. In terms of pricing, this phone starts at 36,000 Indian rupees for 6 128GB variant, but you can get a flat discount of rupees 6,000 with HDFC card, bringing the effective cost to around 30,000 rupees. It has also received a price cut of 5,000 rupees in the offline market recently. That brings the Indian price close to its international price of $399 or 349 euros. However, in India there are so many alternatives to this phone. Phones like iQOO 7, Mi 11X, OnePlus Nord 2, Realme GT Neo 2 are great examples of that, as they come with very powerful processors. However, they lack IP67 rating as well as long-term software support, which the A52s offers. There is also in-house competition from Samsung. The Galaxy M52 undercuts the A52s while providing similar performance, and then there is the Galaxy S20 FE 5G, which is better than the A52s in pretty much every category and frequently goes on sale to around 33 to 36,000 rupees. Okay, so to conclude, the Galaxy A52s is a very good phone overall. However, its pricing is such that in certain markets like India, there is just too much competition, and Samsung hasn't priced it appropriately or aggressively. Still, if you need an all-rounder phone with good display, cameras, audio, performance, battery life, and feature-packed software, this is a good phone to get. And in markets like Europe and North America, where there is not much competition to this phone, this becomes a great option. Alright, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel down below. Thanks for watching.